everybody, welcome to day 4 of our Rocks and Mud Week, and today we're going to get muddy. It's raining outside. It is a perfect puddle day, and if you don't feel like getting wet and maybe kind of chilly outside, you can make a pudding puddle today, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Let me tell you, it's delicious. But first I want to start with our settle jar. Remember how we made the sediment? We made layers of rock and sand and soil, and we watched it settle down to the bottom. We said that's how sedimentary rock forms, by settling, and pressing for so long. We said that some rocks are millions and millions of years old. If you make a rock collection, you're collecting some of the oldest things that you could collect on the earth. That's pretty cool. Well, I made my sediment jar into a settle jar with some glitter. It's fun to watch it kind of float down. It helps me settle down a little bit too. When I'm feeling like things are kind of crazy and out of control and I don't know what to do, I just need to stop and watch it settle and take 3 big breaths. Let's do that together right now. Ready? Still a little bit of swirling in there, but a lot of it settled to the bottom. We don't always settle all the way down. We're still breathing. We're still living. We're still giggling. But it's nice to feel a little bit calmer sometimes too. Do you want to sing our song from this week? There is dirt on my shirt. Will you sing with me? There is dirt on my shirt and leaves in my hair. There is mud on my boots, but I don't care. To stomp in a puddle or hug a tree makes me so happy. Just look and see. Will you sing that again with me? Let's do it one more time. There is dirt on my shirt and leaves in my hair. There is mud on my boots, but I don't care. To stomp in a puddle or hug a tree makes me so happy. Just look and see. I like that song. It does help me want to go outside, even though it's raining. It makes me kind of extra want to go outside and play in the rain, to stomp in a puddle. I have rain boots. I hope you have rain boots. Mine are just green. They're kind of boring, but they do work. Jovina has some that are bright pink, and she even used to have a pair that would light up. Her bright pink ones have swirls on them. So one of the activities I sent you home sent to your email, is designing your own dream rain boots. And here they are. Whoa, you can. These are the kind that Jovina drew. Oh my goodness, she even has a little face down at the bottom. So you can have your very own, and you can design them however you want. If you could have your very own to design, what would they look like? She made blue, little umbrella up here. This one has a gold chain on it going down. And there's a little rain puddle ready to stomp in. So there's design your own dream rain boots. What would you make your rain boots look like? And if you did that, maybe tomorrow when we have our show and tell day, you can share with us your dream rain boots. Or maybe you want to share with us your settle jar. Or maybe you want to share with us the puddle painting that you're going to do today. Whoa. Or maybe even the story stones that we made on Monday or Tuesday. Getting my days mixed up. So when we have our Zoom session tomorrow, everyone will get a turn to share. Now I want to share with you my mud book. Mud! They wrote it very fancy. It's even hard to see which letter is which. This is an M, a very fancy M, a very fancy U, and a very fancy D for D. You might remember I read this in the classroom in the spring. Mud. I like to read this in the early spring because this book starts in the early spring when things are still frozen. One night it happens. Maybe it begins in the warm of the day, and night only releases the scent. Maybe because it's always at night. Here's some night that it happens. Can you see the moon? And it's stars and it's dark out. Someone opening a door will notice. Opening a door. They will notice the earth comes unfrozen. A cold, sweet smell. Look, it looks like they're taking a deep breath. They're smelling it. A cold, sweet smell rises in the ground like sap in the snow. By morning, brown leaves loosen from their frozen drifts, and the leaves rattle down in the flapping wind. There we go. They're flying away. Small scattered stones where the sun has seen them will thaw pools of grass. Standing there. The hills will remember their colors. I like this with the leaves on the trees. The leaves, I like that because it says the hills will remember their colors. That means they'll think it's a great way to, almost like poetry, to think that the hills will remember their colors. It's like, oh, the hills will turn green again. And how will they turn green again? Because the leaves will come back on the trees. I think that's such a beautiful way. The hills will remember their colors. I think that's a beautiful way to say that the trees will get leaves again. That's poetry. Saying things in a different way that make you think about. Winter will squish, squawk, sop, splat, slurp, melt in mud. Those are some really good mud words. And that's really good dark mud. That's going to be how our pudding puddle's going to look. Happy mud! Let me tell you, when you get to eat a pudding puddle, it's going to be happy mud. But even playing it outside. Oh, look at that squeezing. Yum! Stir it. Stick it. Stirring and sticking the mud. Dig it. Dance it. Gooey, gloppy, mucky, magnificent mud. Look how happy. Come, spring. Come, grass. Looks like he's welcoming them. Come on. Come, green. That's how I always feel. Earlier in the spring, I'm like, I want green. I love that green grass. And I love those green leaves coming back on the trees. And I have the letter G for green. G is for grass. It is so green. And this rain that's coming down is making it even more green. I don't know if you've ever heard of April showers bring May flowers. It is April, and showers means not like getting ready in the morning, but the rain coming down helps more flowers come and bloom in May. We have flowers even blooming now. We have some lilacs out there that just smell so delicious. Inside my tiny little book, G is for grass. G. There's a grasshopper, and it's green. There's the word green, grasshopper. And it shows the different parts. This is a diagram. It shows parts of its body. And it says a group of grasshoppers is called a cloud. Did you know that? I thought that was so fun. On a rainy day, we're talking about mud. Last week we talked about clouds. We're talking about green. And a group of grasshoppers is called a cloud. They fly around together. Front legs for walking. Big eyes for seeing. Long antenna for sensing. Back legs for jumping. Wings for flying. Parts of its body. We saw a tiny little grasshopper the other day. Jovina and I were walking through the field, and it was so tiny. We saw that was like our first grasshopper we saw of the season. It's kind of exciting when you see some things coming back or new ones in the spring. Well, get ready. Now it's time for mud. I made pudding this morning, and this was with cocoa and cornstarch and milk, even a little bit of egg. And I mixed it over the stove, and it smells so good. Can you smell it? Oh my goodness, it smells so good. So instead of just eating it, we're going to paint with it. So I painted with this earlier on my cookie sheets. So there's a little bit on there. I scraped it off so I could do it again to show you, because I did it during Zoom. And I'm going to bend this down a little bit so you can see my cookie sheet. So what you do, now you know what? I remember doing this when I was in kindergarten. I remember getting to paint, and we did it on paper. We took big chocolatey pudding. We got a glop, and we got to paint with our fingers on paper. Now I'm doing this on the cookie sheet. It won't be quite as messy, but I'll show you how you can press it into paper. I'm going to get a piece of paper real quick. Paper. Paper. So when you get your cookie sheet and the mud, plop, just plop it on there. Oh, it's really hard not to. Take a bite. You get your fingers, and you can squish it on, and you can paint with the mud like this. Pretty fun. And you can even write in it. I'm going to write a letter. M for mud. And here's the next one. U. And the last letter. D. If I was going to make that word, D is D. D. Now I'm going to make a little rain cloud. I'm going to draw in my mud puddle. With some little raindrops in the puddle down here. Now, if you wanted to keep it, since you can't keep the cookie sheet, you can take your paper and you can press it on real gentle. I'm just rubbing it on the pudding. And dum-da-dum, you can see how I made it into a puddle press print. A puddle press print. This is called a print if you make a drawing and you press the paper onto it. It's called a print. And there's your puddle on there too. And you can keep drawing. And when you're done drawing on here, guess what you have to do? You have to clean it up. Oh, it's the best part. Do you know what you get to do when you get to clean this up? You get to lick your fingers, each delicious one, to clean it up. Yummy! And if you really love chocolate, like I do, you might even scrape it off that little bit and eat it. I also have a towel. I'll wipe my fingers with it. There you go. And that's how you do a mud puddle, pudding puddle, and a puddle pudding print. Now, if that's not a tongue twister, I don't know what is. Puddle pudding print. Will you sing one more song with me today? Since it's raining outside, I want to sing our rain song from last week. Ready? When the rain comes down on everyone. When the rain comes down on everyone. Rich and poor, great and small. It really doesn't matter at all. It really doesn't matter at all. Well, there you go, my friends. I hope you have a fun, muddy, happy day today, and I'll see you tomorrow for Friday, our last day of our Mud and Rock Week. Bye.